All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Wherever you are, whenever you're watching, I do hope it's a good one. I do need to apologize for a couple of things. Yesterday, I kind of had to blow up because of pain, and Bird was the one who recognized that. Thank you, Bird. Um, the other thing is, I have to apologize because I'm late getting started because StreamYard, in its infinite wisdom, decided I needed to re-log in, which meant I had to get the code. Yay. And of course, I have my co-host with me this morning, Carol's Cookies.
Hi.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm sleepy.
Ah,
I lost a day.
well, I hope you rested at least.
I slept all day yesterday.
Good to hear. You must have needed it.
Yeah.
And let's see here. Rabbit Slug Ouchies was first in the chat. Just start the bloody stream already. Well, I would have if I could have. Chronos.
Yeah, Chronos.
And 47 Yorktail says bonjour to Rabbit Slugouchies, aka Chronos. And Rabbit Slug says, oh, crap, I forgot to make coffee. Hope everyone is doing well. Didn't like my French teacher. Ah, he was a fill in the blank in French. Son of a bitch. That's it. He was a son of a bitch in French.
Sure.
Yes, I knew what you meant when you said hey. I just read he. Uh, uh, turn your head one way and then another. Hear a snap. It's a good thing, right? Snap? No. Crack? Yes. Can't feel your ears. Well, I'm sorry, Kronos. I was busy trying to get logged back in. Uh,
I can't stop yawning.
you know, that was such a bad name in Goonies. One-eyed Willie. And 47 Yorktown says, hello from Eastern Canada. What, not bonjour from Eastern Canada? Okay, let's see how it goes. Kronos says, wow, slug be high. A47. Ooh, it's about minus 10 Fahrenheit this morning. Uh,
Ew, that's
God.
cold.
And Kronos says it's about minus 1 Fahrenheit where he is.
It's -2 where I'm at.
I don't speak French. Racetrack. Uh, and, does Cookies feel better?
Cookies is still sleepy.
And Scrambles the Death Dealer, how are you doing, by the way? I haven't seen you over on GMC's in a little bit. I'm sure you're there. I just probably miss you when you're there. It's funny how, you're used to seeing somebody on one stream, and then when you don't, it's just like, where are they at? And good morning, Chester Saxton. How are you? Rabbit Slug just woke up. Oh, Rabbit Slug's back. Kronos must have two browser windows open, or using two devices. Um, if you're using two browsers, it's on a computer, obviously. Richie Poole says, Kronos, you need to go to sleep soon. Okay, well, you get some sleep scrambles. I'm glad you were able to stop by. Hopefully, you're able to come on sometime. That would be nice. Uh, Good morning, Senator Red Shirt. Morning, y'all. Hope everyone is doing well. Just thought I'd drop in and say hi. Leave a like. Have a great show, folks. Big day ahead for me. Got to get going. Still white from Jedi Bill's 9-hour karaoke stream. 9 hour?
You went for 9 hours?
Damn.
Yeah, I didn't show up for that either.
See, you need to stop by my show sometime. Leave Jedi Bills, get a little bit, take a nap, and come by here. You know, just an idea.
Did I miss bad movie night too? I missed so much yesterday.
And yes, winter sucks. At least there are no bugs. Which means there are no slugs. I think bugs are annoying in spring and summer. Yeah, but it gives you something to eat there, rabbit slug. And early fall. And good morning, brightest day. And yes, it's a spoon.
Yes, I am a spoon.
And how are you, brightest day? By the way, I'll take some bacon and eggs, please. Add a little bit of cheese. Go ahead and whip the eggs up and make an omelet. I'll take the bacon inside the omelet with a little bit of cheese. I'm trying to think of a way to what is that stuff called that you make with egg whites? Yeah, you add like cream of tartar to it, and it uh, gets all fluffy and stuff.
I don't know.
And then you can bake it, and I don't know. I want to call it. I know it's not divinity. It's something else. But anyhow, somebody will mention it in chat. I'm sure. And I know my thermometer must be broken because according to this, it's 30 degrees out, and that's a bunch of bullshit. There is no way in hell it's 30 degrees out there. I had to step outside. It's getting warm in the house because my parents like to keep it fucking hot. So yeah. Oh well, I do thank you that you can stop by. I'm glad you're able to. Uh Brenda Stay says I got Bacos and Velveeta, best I can do. Hey, if it'll do, it'll do. It melts. Fake cheese is still cheese-like substance. At least that's the soft variety, unlike the stuff that comes in the packages. Oof. Uh Well, I'm glad you managed to stop by. You have a good day, Chester. Scramble says it's 3 degrees there. And Kapla Birdo Prey 5, how are you? And yes, thank you, Chester, for letting us know. "47 says, Velveeta. Hey, Bird, yo. Hey, at least I'm not as far behind in chat as Bird. That's a good thing. Rabbit Slug Ouchie sounds slimy. I'd agree. Uh, yeah, unfortunately, brightest day almost out of degrees just means you go to the negative side. Once you go to the dark side, it gets colder. In this case, the line between the dark and the light side is 0 or 32 degrees Fahrenheit. And Rabbit Slug Ouchie says, "Don't you have a snuggle buddy yet, Birdo Prey 5? No. Well, I'm sure you could find one. You know, we've tried. We've tried.
You could snuggle with a slug.
Yeah, but see, Rabbit Slug Ouchies would rather snuggle with Mama Prey.
Yeah. Bad slug.
Oh, he's got a crush on Mama Prey. You know, at least he's got good taste. He prefers women who are a little older than him. So you got some sleep. Anything else been going on, or just?
My truck still has a flat tire because I was depending on somebody to help me fix it, and they have not come through, so I'm gonna have to call AAA.
I hate when that happens.
Yeah. And my kid is apparently sick and is not going to school today.
Oh, how fun!
Yeah. I'm just too tired to fight with her about it.
How old?
16.
Yeah, sometimes it's not worth the fight.
No, I'm not awake enough to fight with her. I'll probably end up falling back asleep before I even call AAA again.
Probably sounded like a good idea.
Yeah, I'm just so freaking tired. I'm like wiped out.
And good morning, Lance. How are you this morning? Let's say there were several people that I talked to yesterday. Kind of helped bring me out of the kind of funk I was in yesterday.
Well, that's good. Sorry, I was asleep.
A lot of it has to do with dealing with this pain that I don't like to deal with, and I don't like to talk about. So it's really hard to.
I understand. I can't stop yawning, and when you yawn, my eyes water. It looks like I'm crying. I sound like I'm crying, but I'm not. I'm just sleepy. That's what you get for staying up for like 4 days at a time.
That's true.
I gotta stop doing that.
Kronos, Mama Prey told 6 Mama Prey Tales the other day. It was epic.
I'm spreading the yawn. Sorry. Hey, Fade.
Oh, that's on down. Okay.
It,
It
it's not
stopped for
worth
a second.
it.
And yes, Rabbit Slug. Cookies need sweepies. You're right. Yes, I am better. Thank you, Lance. I appreciate that. And hey, Sade, how are you today? Apparently Rabbit Slug Ouchies is now yawning. Stop it.
I can't help it.
I have to tinkle. BRB. Well, thank you for sharing it, Rabbit Slug. Thank you. You know, I ought to find something of water running just for such occasion. Oh, lovely. The kids are up and loud already. Yay.
Yay.
If I didn't need that door, I would just get rid of that, put in part of a different wall with some soundproofing qualities to it, as well as some soundproofing in the wall. Unfortunately, that's really the main way in and out of my bedroom. There's a second way, but yeah. And Randomness says, greetings from the future. I thought it said tickles at first because I was reading during a yawn. So apparently the yawning is spreading. Yeah, I have
I'm sorry.
that's no problem. That is no problem at all. You know, I found this thing that I have up in the corner. Uh, I edited it, of course, because it needed to fit within the size up there. And you know, I think that gets the message across. Like, share, subscribe, share out, you know. I And of course, Rabbit Slug Out, she says, hey, time dude. Goody. And Kronos, you get to have some fun right now. We've got a bug to, or whatever. You hear crickets. Well, okay. I'm sorry to hear that. Uh, can you talk about it or what's going on? It says it's all your fault, Carol's cookies. Not really, though. I did just wake up. No coffee yet, because it's 4:30 in the morning.
It's okay. You can
That's
blame me.
well, can, but thank you. I'm not officially celebrating yet. I started yesterday with 6:06, so hopefully I will be back up a little higher by the end of today. And yes, yes, Rabbit Slug, but it's fun to whack about, isn't it? Slug the bot, yes, absolutely. Yeah, baby, yeah. Oh, I don't know if they really are, but hey, well, go get more coffee, Rabbit Slug. Go get more coffee. Well, yes, it is going to turn into quick draw the bot. The good part is you can all still report them because they're a pain in the ass. Yeah, yeah, scrambles. That does happen all the time. This is the fifth time I was above 600, and I'm at least right now above or at 600, which is not what happened before. So hopefully it sticks. I don't want to have. I didn't actually have an official 600 stream, although I had 600 in the background. So kind of, but not. Ah, and Bird will be back in a bit. Good to hear, Bird. Um, so okay, Carol, what kind of cookies today?
Uh, um, Chocolate chip.
Ooh, chocolate
Just
chip.
something simple.
Simple but delicious.
Yes. I can't wake up.
Well,
I need
you know
help.
what? Maybe you need more sleep.
I'll get there. I'll get there. I gotta at least wait until you have somebody else up on the panel. I don't want to leave you by yourself.
The
That would
trucks are
be
starting to roll again, by the way. Well, oh yes, there are trucks up in Canada. They're all going to centralized locations to, well, basically shut things down until things happen the right way. So
oh,
I'm in full support of the truckers. They're getting. The funny thing is, the regular media is trying to make it sound like the GoFundMe has been closed, which it's not. They're trying to make it sound like somebody's profiting, which they're not. People are getting money to keep fuel in their tanks. That's it. So, because it costs money to drive a big rig across country, believe it or not. Uh, And actually, let's see here. Scrabble says, I love, don't fear the Reaper. Ooh, I like soft chocolate chip cookies. Oh, yeah, me too. Me too. Love those soft chocolate chip cookies. Oh. And right now, this morning, it's just Carol and I. I am expecting somebody to be dropping by soon, but that is a bit of a question if they will be back. And it says, "Oh yeah, freshly baked, still on the sheet. That aroma." Oh. Actually, when was it? This was years ago. I found uh, candles that smelled like cookies, and my parents were selling the house, and so rather than uh, bake cookies or whatever, I just lit the candles before we left. The uh, realtor would, blow them out, but that would already have the aroma of cookies in the air and kind of have that homey feeling to it. Didn't take too long to sell, so I think it helped. Uh, okay. I've got to check my Twitter because I just gotta. Okay. Apparently, the guest is on the phone, so they're booting up the computer.
Okie dokie.
What is a cookie? Is it perhaps a monster? Ooh, I like Cookie Monster.
I am not a monster.
ET phone home. Ooh, now Reese's Pieces and cookies. Ooh, that might be good too. Just make sure they're soft and chewy. Well. And good morning.
Good morning, folks. Good to see you. How are you today?
Hello.
Hello.
Doing good. How are you?
Oh, it's it's a little earlier than I'm normally sitting at the computer, but I've got my coffee, so we should be good. How are things?
Things are actually better today than they were yesterday.
Oh, good, good, good. Yeah, there seems to have been a lot of activity last night. I guess our favorite friend over at G4 went through and pretty much deleted all their tweets.
Oh,
I know. Truly sad. Yeah, that was kind of some late night messaging I caught. And then early this morning, I found it to be true. So, yeah, wild stuff. Wild indeed. You have to ask yourself, was she told to do that? Did somebody say, hey, you probably shouldn't be doing what you're doing, and maybe, clean out your socials. You think somebody told her to do that?
the problem is, I think somebody may have told her what to say as well.
You think so?
Yeah, I
Well, I
think it's
mean,
all scripted anymore.
I think you know what, I lean towards you being 100% accurate with your assessment. And the reason being is because clearly the day that she went on her rant, she was reading from a teleprompter. She already
Mm-hmm.
told everybody everything was largely scripted, you know, and so it was pretty easy to just rewind, watch her eyes, follow everything that she said. And there were a few elements in there that were improvised, but for the most part, she was fully invested in that script. It's the best performance she's ever given in her entire history on that show. So yeah,
Wow,
that would be my assessment, you know. But yeah, there's I don't know what I think everything about what's happening is like there is like maybe a rogue social media manager,
right.
you know, involved in this, and you know it doesn't look good for Comcast. Even if it is something that they, and you know, initially were like, you guys really need to kick your viewership up, or you need to create more buzz, or whatever. So I
I
don't know.
mean, they may have stepped in and said, wait a minute. Now, we wanted more interest. We wanted more interaction. This isn't what we meant.
Yeah, I think that's probably true. I think that is probably true. I like you said. I mean, I don't. I mean, they always say that there's no such thing as negative publicity, but I think that in this particular instance, this was a lot of negative. And I didn't mean to barge in here and start on this conversation. I know you guys were already chatting, but it was just an interesting find, you know, to be reading through everybody's commentary around it. So
Oh, there's a ton of commentary. One of the things I like about your show, number one, the brevity and how you cover your stories, but you actually cover relevant stuff. Some, and I don't want to name anybody because I like everybody I watch, but there's some of the things that are talked about that it's given way too much attention.
yeah. Yeah, and again, I mean, the chances of this coming up on the 6 minute daily, it might flow in there, but it'll only be there for no more than 15 seconds because I don't have the time. And most of these stories I think are relevant when I'm doing it, are the ones that might interest everybody. Because again, I mean, the whole goal, behind any form of entertainment or information channel is to engage the audience and keep everybody interested, and and that's the key. But yeah, um I don't know, we'll have to see. But thank you for the compliment. I love doing the 6 minute daily, and I do, I like doing the longer format stuff too.
Right.
But I think it's really important to just kind of stick to something that everybody can take their own opinion from. I don't think there's enough of that. I think a lot of times you're expecting everybody to agree with you, and I think that's the wrong way to approach it. I think that's one of the reasons why the corporate content creators, or what some people would have called the mainstream, right? I think that they lost sight of that a long time ago.
That's the thing. I think everybody likes having people agree with them.
Yeah,
I think that's one thing.
yeah.
But to live in a bubble where everybody has to agree with you is something completely different.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, not just because that would be ironic during your statement, but because I think it's true. I think that the best conversations are where you don't quite agree, or maybe you're approaching something from two different perspectives. Because
Hmm.
I think there are times when we don't allow for that other perspective, and a lot of people are like, well, what's your lived experience? Well, I could care two shits. But what I care about is, if there's some way of looking at this that I haven't explored. Because again, the only way to have proper discourse, or at least gain faith in even your own opinion, is to have it be informed by someone else's. And like I said, I mean, it's one of those things. It's why I like the longer format shows for that reason, is because you'll often find somebody who you would assume would share your opinion, and they don't. you know, and it's a kind of a cool, you know, it's kind of that cool moment where you're like, oh wow, what, you know, let's explore that. Why are we not on the same page?
And the opposite's also true.
Oh,
You know,
sure.
I've had people I thought, oh, they're never going to agree with me, and all of a sudden it's like, I agree with you 100%. It's like, what the huh?
Yeah.
And good morning, Keely Chow.
Hey, Keely. Yeah, you know, and if you guys wouldn't mind sharing out the stream, that would be awesome. I would really appreciate that. I know Captain Trek would as well. What's up,
Yes,
Bone? Good morning.
good morning, Bone.
And yeah, I mean, like you said, I've been trying to get on here. I went out of my schedule a little bit so I could be here this morning, and I'm starting to build up my roster of stories for my show today. And then of course we've got, all these other great shows that go on Thursday. But like you said, I mean, it's always nice to talk to everybody. I would do it more often, but in my in my situation, because I still have a regular a regular gig, there's not a lot of time, but
Time, yeah, that's it was funny. You were talking about as far as different points of view and agreeing. I remember Tuesday.
yeah,
You know, I had a slightly different point of view than you and Wes, although I didn't disagree with you.
right.
My perspective is different.
Oh
And
yeah,
that's one of the things I like about, the fact that he'll welcome me on, even though I don't agree with him 100% on everything.
well, wouldn't life be boring if we did,
Apparently, some of these people out there want it to be boring because I don't know. I
Yeah,
think they like to live in the bubble, but they want to cause problems at the same time. They want everybody to say how wonderful they are, but they want to step out and cause a little bit of problem.
right. Well,
You're bad for not believing what I do.
yeah.
Oh, you're so right. You're so wonderful. No, you're not. You're
Well,
human.
yeah, exactly, and to me, oftentimes, the people that are chasing that are just trying to be somewhat relevant, and maybe you can forgive them for that, maybe not. I I look at it, and in Hollywood terms, right? Everybody's just is trying to get their next gig. I mean,
Right.
the way the entertainment industry works is you have to be on the right side of things to stay working, because that's your ultimate goal is to continue to be a working uh continue to be a working actor. So
Right. I
it's
mean, that
never,
makes sense.
yeah, it's a lot but it's a lot to sacrifice. I mean, like, for example, yesterday, one of the articles I covered in the 6 Minute Daily, there's so much more to what I do, is I try to get the context of every one of the articles that I'm presenting, so I'm not just presenting a headline. And yeah, good to see you, Zach. And I try to get the everything I can in there, and try to boil it down to just 15, 20, 30 seconds at the most. And yesterday a story appeared along that very line, Captain Trek. Johnny Leguizamo, Johnny Legs, came out and said essentially that, what's up, Raquel? Said that he wouldn't go out in the sun because he didn't want to get darker complexion, because he didn't believe he would continue to get roles. And
Wow.
that, I know, and that says something incredibly. Hey, what's up, Dad, man? Something incredibly terrible about Hollywood. I mean, think about that. I mean, as a culture in Hollywood, that's all they think about. All they think about all day is all these small, immutable things that the general public doesn't care about. All the general public cares about when it comes to entertainment is being entertained, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they say, well, I want to see someone like myself, and I'm like, wow, that's pretty myopic. If that's what you really think your audience is, because all they want is entertainment. So the fact that in the back of Johnny's mind, John Leguizamo's mind was that he wouldn't get roles if he were darker complexion. That's insane. It's also not true. I mean, you've had plenty of black leads and plenty of darker, Latin leads out there. But from his perspective, he had been poisoned by this well so much that that's where he that's where he's coming from. And again, it's you have to take that to heart. Is you're living the town that he lives in is so driven by appearance that you can't help but to be successful. You have to be some form of a narcissist. I mean, you do.
Yeah.
Because everything has to be centered around you. And then at the same time, that is constantly being reinforced by people around you telling you you're the greatest thing ever, which, gosh, dang, that's a lot, man. You think about that. I mean, I get criticized on a daily basis. I'm sure you do too. But I mean, it's, I'm constantly, what's up, Darius? I'm constantly being criticized. And to me, that's not a problem, because it's always helped me. I've always taken away lessons from that. I've had suggestions from people in the last few days, most of them nice. But again, when your DMs are open and block people, you're going to get some unnice things.
I've got a few unnice things. Yeah, yeah, I've gotten that. Hey, Yitza.
Yeah, good to see you, Yitza. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure you can see it from that side of things. I mean, if you look at what, like I said, if you look at what they do for a living, it's rough.
Well, there are a lot of times, if you had some of the Hollywood actors that would actually take a step back and look and heartfully apologize for some of the garbage that's come from their mouth, I honestly think the general public would say, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
You're forgiven. Now make some stuff that entertains us and we'll be fine.
Well, and for Johnny Legs to, do that, he was playing a character in a film called Moulin Rouge, who was essentially Toulouse-Lautrec, right?
Right.
So wasn't he appropriating culture and crossing particular lines in order to play that character?
I would say.
The problem is, again, when you focus on this myopic bullshit, everybody will always find the center of your hypocrisy. And it's just, and that's ultimately what it all is.
I would say, I would agree with you.
Yeah, and Brightest Day is 100% right. There are a handful of actors whose feet are firmly planted in reality. Absolutely. And we know some of them, actually. They exist within our fellowship even. I mean, I can't even begin to tell you how many people I know that are involved in the industry that pay attention to everything we're doing. So, and Dadman's 100% right. It's these issues exist in and outside of entertainment, and the problem is that the in entertainment and in all of its forms, whether it be informational entertainment, which is now basically what the news is because it's no longer journalism. You have television, you have film, you also have music and video games. Video games is the largest entertainment enterprise right now, believe it or not.
I'm not surprised.
In terms of revenue and profitability, it kicks everything in the pants. But then you have other industries that are related, and all of these industries suffer from these, but the only ones that are really influencing the culture, and that's the whole point. I mean, I don't want to get into the political side of things, but that's the whole point is the entertainment industry. When you've corrupted that with all of this nonsensical stuff, problems that have been solved in this country for dang near 30 years, what are you doing? I mean, your only purpose is to destroy at that point. So it's interesting, though. It really is.
Let me ask you something. How did you get onto YouTube?
Watching you guys. I'm not kidding. Watching everybody. The boss and I, we stopped paying attention to things when they got bad. I mean, literally, there was a handful of things we found interesting on television. There were fewer and fewer movies to go see because they all, revolved around some form of crap, whether or not it was a, anti-man feminism film like, Ghostbusters or similar, and I'm talking about Ghostbusters 2015, right? The lady version. I looked at those things and I was like, okay, well, I guess, entertainment's going a different direction, or people are buying something else. And then because I'm interested in the financial side of things, I'm like, wait a minute, these things aren't making money. So what's going on here? And so that's, I kind of started to do an analysis. And what really kicked it into gear is just how much I fell out of love with The Force Awakens. And then when the second Disney Star Wars film came out, how much I despised it immediately. And I was done. I literally was done with Star Wars at that point. And Star Wars had been so central in my life, considering it was the first cinematic experience that I remember from my childhood.
Yeah.
So I ended up watching all these great channels, right? And, you always find the big ones first. You always find world-class bullshitters. You always find, Gary at Nerdrotic. You always find bigger channels like that, and that sends you down a whole different kind of rabbit hole, because then you start to watch everybody else. And so you start to find people who've been on YouTube for 10 years and have 1,500 subscribers, and you have people that have been on there for 2 and they have 100,000. And to me that was also an interesting thing, because I'm thinking, what is the disparity here? And as you get closer to the lower, the lower subscribers, or the up and coming channels, you were seeing, some of the differentiation, and the thing is it doesn't matter if you have, 200,000 subs or 200 subs, there's an audience for what you're doing, and people enjoy it, and they come and see it. And in my case, like I said, I saw enough people that were disheartened, but they weren't talking about it from the side of the aisle that interested me. In fact, the only other person that's doing that now is somebody who's only come on in the last year, and that's Valiant Renegade, right? And so, and he went blazing by me because he's making videos, and I had to hit the pause button on video production. So, that, because the key to growth on YouTube is not, just the live streaming aspect where you get a real connection with your audience. It's also producing, 1 or 2 videos a week. And that really drives your channel growth. It gives you, you can actually, I'm watching people, really successful YouTubers, basically clip their live streams. Like, for example, Young Ripa. Right, Young Ripa, Eric July actually does his live streams for Canon's sake, and it gets turned into multiple videos because he cuts it just like a news program, and is able to produce content from it. So, and that's one way to go about it, and it's a way that I'm experimenting with another channel on that very thing to try to get to work with them on that. And I'm always saying, if you're doing a live stream and you have a particularly rich segment, that needs to be edited, just download it from YouTube, edit it down into that particular segment and re-upload it as, just that segment, and, call it whatever the relevant story name would be. So, Old Stripper. There you go. Very good, Yitza. Old Stripper. But, yeah, and again, I'll get back to the story, which is that's how I found everybody. Is I was like, okay, well, there's nobody's doing this. It's what interests me. So I actually went into like even deeper research, and I reached out to somebody who I enjoyed watching, who was a little fiery. His name is Ryan Cannell. You might know him. And he'd only been on for a short while. And I reached out to him, and he said, look, you don't really need a great camera. You need a good microphone. So he's like, most people start with these Yetis, right? And so I ordered one of those. I had, my gaming headset that I use, for when I'm, video gaming with people. And, and then I started to craft my persona, which I was never going to be on camera, and of course, right now I'm having breakfast, so I'm not on camera, but I was never going to be on camera, and I created a 3-dimensional avatar, very similar to what Fat Steven does, that would essentially track me, and give me a physical representation, but not me as a person, me as a robot monster, basically. His name was Gron, and he was going to be kind of the mouthpiece, and it was going to give me a chance to play off of a character as well, which I'm more comfortable doing. But I was then I was watching somebody else that I deeply respected. His name is Comics Division. You might know him as well. And he did a face reveal, and speaking with Miss Martin Muses, you might know her, and back when she was Tiresome Martin, it kind of drew me out, and I put my face on the cheap ass web camera I had at the time, and the rest is kind of history, because once I'd done my first video, we're coming up on the 2 full years of being out here. I think.
Wow.
Yeah. So, or is it 3? I don't even know. I think it's 2. When did I start? I guess technically I started in 2020. So it'll be a full 2 years in, man, not that many days. Holy cow. And that would have been that. So, I'm pretty, like I said, I'm pretty fortunate just to be here, and I've been able to meet people along the way and form amazing friendships, which you wouldn't expect, and and it's just been a good experience, because again, I get to meet with incredible people that have interest in the same thing I do: Star Trek, Star Wars, all of the great films of the 80s and 90s, and even the early 2000s.
And thank you, excuse me.
Yeah.
Thank you, Keely Chow. I've got somebody new to subscribe to. It's one of the things that Keely does here is he'll throw links to different people, channels in the stream, which is one thing I like. I like supporting the community by having other channels out there.
And that actually I always felt was part of the responsibility of being a channel, is pointing out that there are other channels out there. So I got that idea that at the end of my videos for quite some time early on, for the first year, I would post the banners and channel information of every channel I could.
Mm-hmm.
What's up, Mr. Grant Gregory? That's one of the best editors on YouTube, kids. Mr. Grant Gregory. But it's the other reason why at the end of all of my videos now, or even my live streams, mm-hmm. I tell people, look, support independent creators. I mean, that's like, I have a 20-second thing that it's somewhat improvised, but for the most part basically says, look, there's a lot of people out here, they're not favored by the algorithm, and the only way that they'll get traction is if we have people supporting them. And the more channels that are out there, the more variety, the better entertainment is. I mean, and that's the thing. I mean, if YouTube would just wake up and realize they're the only game in town, and they ignored the corporate content creators, they'd be far better off.
I think one of the big problems is that obviously the corporate accounts are providing the money, but I don't think that they're looking at the full picture, because I don't think the super chats are coming from the big channels.
Well, it's not. Yeah, I mean, that's direct revenue, and YouTube doesn't. Again, that's another reason why they're leaning into the gaming space, and they're starting to lean into live streams. I mean, a year from now, the landscape inside of YouTube, because of their changes, may be completely different. Maybe they will start valuing live streams more, because they do generate direct revenue, unlike an ad, which most people, let's be honest, after 5 seconds, they hit the skip ad button, right?
Yeah. Well, I've had people even tell me, well, if I could super chat you, I would.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, yeah, I don't see why it's limited to where it is, because they're making money off of it directly.
Yeah.
They get the first third. Boom.
Exactly. And monetization, right, used to be a lot simpler. It really did. You didn't need 1,000 subs and 4,000 hours.
Hours I don't have a problem with.
No. And that's the beauty of the live streams, right? Hey, the lovely Sherry, good to see you this morning. But yeah, I mean, and I think most streamers don't have a problem with the hours. I think they have I think it's a matter of getting the subscribers, and when you're not featured in the algorithm, or people aren't finding you, from related searches, it takes longer, which is again why you need to share everybody. What's up, Dr. Alex?
Good afternoon, Dr. Alex. Hope your lunch is going well.
Yeah. Well, I'm having breakfast as we kick off here, so
it's always interesting to have people from all over the world. Is it morning or night where you are, Mr. Grant Gregory?
It's quite evening for him, I believe. Late at night, in fact. Either that or terribly early. No, it's night there. Yeah. Like, for example, the couple of times that I was on the full Aussie, I was rolling out of bed and those dudes were headed to bed. So pretty early in the morning. It's, it takes extra to get up extra early to do streams, but it's totally worth it because, I'm the Australian folks. They're awesome. Oh, and I learned something valuable. YouTube is becoming a Paul Verhoeven movie. Yeah. The ads are insane. The suggestions feel very Google. Absolutely. Yep. 100%, Doc Valiant. But yeah, I mean, I realized this last night. Oh, hey, Eagle Rider. Good to see you, love. I hope you're doing well, Rosetta. But where was I? I discovered last night that 48% of my audience is not in the United States. Isn't that amazing?
I would have to say at least half of mine is not in the United States.
It's amazing.
I've got people from Canada, Mexico, all over Europe. It's like, what?
It's incredible. I'm always amazed. Always amazed. But like I said,
11 p.m. So yes, late night.
Yeah, it's a late night for Mr. Greg Gregory. Yeah, I've got some videos that have come in. Between
so it is. See, I was right. It is technically morning.
Oh, all right. It's really early. I feel bad for him. He stays up and he does a lot of work for he is doing a lot of work for a lot of people. I've got YetiCast doing some editing for me, and if I really do make it to doing 2 videos per weekday, which is my plan for February, then I've got to take on another editor. So I'm gonna end up with 3 editors. Just because it's just I can record the content. This is the other problem with content creation. I can record the content. Editing takes bloody forever. So one half of the equation is the recording, the other half is the editing. And if you have somebody that's just really talented at editing and they have better ideas than you, then take advantage of them. Well, not like that. I mean, just use them. Become a partner with them. That's what you want to do.
You will get there. Trust me, you will get there.
Well, you are very close, Zach. Need to get Zach on a Sunday show. It's been a while.
Yes, you do.
I haven't had Zach on a Sunday show in almost a year, I think.
Wow.
He's busy. He's got a job.
Oh, I would definitely say that's being conservative. I would say 2 to 3 times as long.
Yeah. But again, for some people, editing is a breeze, man. They already know what they're doing. They got shortcuts and all kinds of ideas.
I'm one of those. It's like, okay, no, that's not perfect. Oh, wait a minute. I can cut out 3 microseconds of this clip.
Yeah, at a certain point, it just there's diminishing returns, right? So,
but see, I don't want the fade to black to be too long. If it's not long enough, it doesn't transition right. If it's too long, it looks like it's over with.
I think transitions in my estimation shouldn't be any more than 15 frames in a 30 frames a second video.
I try to keep it down to 12. It seems to go better for me. It's just my opinion. That's why I don't make videos. Part of the reason I don't make videos is I, unlike you, don't know what to say. I don't know how to say it. I could, if I wanted to actually go clip videos, that'd be great. I could do wonderful at that. But it's the whole, what the hell do I say? Now.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why, again, I say again, take your live streams, man, download them and cut them into videos, because you'll be having a good conversation on something. And, there's a whole lot of content there. And you only need, again, for YouTube to hit the sweet spot, you need 10 minutes. That's what you need. 10 minutes.
It's going to be hard, but yes.
Yeah. Yeah. But so right now, normally in my morning, I'm assembling stories for the 6-minute daily. I did a little bit of, because I knew I was going to be here this morning. I have already grabbed 9 stories and set them aside last night. So I've got I need about 6 more to make a good solid 6-minute daily today. So.
I figured, you'd have probably at least 13 there.
Yeah, usually again, there's always a sweet spot, right? Usually you're always trying to find it. And I can do more. I mean, I've done 20 plus stories in a 6-minute daily. In fact, last week I think I did 22 on one of the days last week. And it can be done, right? And I have to talk really fast, and I have to already have had some pretty deep thoughts on some of the topics that are going to require miniaturization, for lack of a better way to put it. But I mean, you have to realize that if I'm spending 15 seconds on a story, 3 seconds is the headline, and the rest of it has to be a concise breakdown of what's in there and its saliency. And then on some days, like one day a week, I'm able to link the stories together to tell a bigger story.
Right.
And those are the best days, and for me, those are the best days where it's like one subject just flows in and out of everything I'm doing, one consistent thread. And usually that's a Thursday or a Friday. In the news business, right? If you want a story to be ignored, something that nobody's going to pay attention to, you deliver that news after the dinner bell in most of America on a Friday. It's called taking out the trash. So it's the stories that are released at 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Mm-hmm. And those stories are it's done that way so that nobody, it doesn't actually hit any major news cycle, because believe it or not, despite the 24 hours news cycle that exists on this planet, nobody really wants that kind of information on the weekend unless there's some catastrophic major event, right?
Right.
And so, that they take out the trash. And so if it's bad news for a corporation, that's when they dump it. They always want to dump it after the closing bell if it's financial news. So it'll happen at, when it's 2 Pacific, that's when it gets dropped. Cap, good luck to you guys. See you sometime late February. Oh, that sounds cool. Where are you headed, Lorena? Not Lorena. I mean, Rosetta.
She's going to be traveling and with family, and so yeah, she's not going to be on as much.
Oh, Rosetta. All right. Well,
be safe until February.
Be safe. Take very good care of yourself, love. Anyway, yeah, what was going on there? So yeah, so if we know that the bad stories happen on a Friday, that's the day I pay attention to, because you will see in my Monday 6-minute daily, you'll see headlines from 3 days ago. And yeah, so like, for example, like on Monday, I'll have stories from Friday afternoon, Saturday, and maybe 1 or 2 from Sunday, in addition to the stories that are happening on Monday morning, which they're not as many. So it kind of makes up for itself, but it's all the news they didn't want anybody to pay attention to. And those are the, oftentimes the best. And that's why another reason why YouTube is awesome, because if you do a live stream, let's say on Friday night, like Friday Night Tights or Friday Night Frolics, or Matt over at Foul Ball Productions does his MF for Cocktail Lounge, or Ords does his gaming stream, or you got all these things going on.
Or you got Doomcock doing his thing.
The Friday Night Frolics, FNF, and then you got but you have all these great things that happen Friday night. And then you still have people talking about stuff on Saturday. You have people talking about stuff on Sunday. And there's all these topics that people weren't informed on because they were dumped. And, because those traditions die hard. Those stories were dumped out there on Friday, late afternoon, early evening. And then you have, that's conversational material that they didn't want anybody to pay attention to, talk about, or anything. And so it's a little different. YouTube has changed the landscape, and like I said, I just wish Alphabet, Google, whatever, I wish they'd really recognize what they have, because when they acquired YouTube, I don't think they really I know they saw the potential, but they went back to making it corporate garbage instead of what it really was meant to be. So it is what it is.
Well, I mean, it's like, oh, this model really works. Let's change it. What? Well, it works like this, but we want it this way. What?
Yeah.
It's kind of like getting rid of the dislike. I mean, I still see the dislikes.
Right.
Anybody who is smart enough to load a plugin can see the dislikes. Because there's still the plugins that work out there where you can look and see, oh, there's this many dislikes. And when it shows on the live streams, dislikes disabled. No, I didn't disable them.
Well, and that's the other thing, right? In fact, I've got a video, Captain Trek. That's funny you mentioned that. I have a video that is going to be coming out that talks specifically about the data behind that. I think it'll be interesting to people. I think that that's probably what Mr. Grant Gregory was working on for me. So I'm pretty excited. I'm just thankful that there are all kinds of people looking for all kinds of information, and they eventually find one of us. Once you found one of us, you'll eventually find us all. So.
Oh yeah, I've been amazed at the number of people I've come across. There have been some people. It's like, I first started out, quite honestly, I was in the hospital recovering, and I was bored, so I was looking up Star Trek stuff. And so then I ran across Doomcock, who was doing a video on.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I ran across Andy Trekker, and I ran across Bird of Prey 5, who then I ran across other people. And then I started joining the live streams, and I started talking to people. Then all of a sudden people would add me as a moderator on different channels. And this is before you had to be a moderator to look up the information, which I'm glad they finally brought back, at least for mods, where you can click the 3 dots and go to the person's channel.
Right.
Because that was a great tool. When they took that away from the moderators, it's like you got somebody coming into chat saying stuff. It's like, who is this? Because there was one specific chat, somebody was impersonating Nerdrotic. It wasn't him.
Yeah,
and that was the person that was spewing stuff. And this is before they took the 3 dots away. I went to the channel. It's like, no content. Yeah, there's no way in hell that Nerdrotic is not going to have content. Boom.
Yeah, you have a lot of people that do that, right? You have a lot of people that stir the stuff, and I don't really appreciate them. But no, you're right. I mean, you were looking for Star Trek, you found Doomcock. You were looking for if you were looking for stuff on Doctor Who, you eventually ran into Gary.
Hmm.
And if you were looking for daily news about, rumors and the possibilities in an alternate dimension, you found Mike Zero when it came to Star Wars.
I still watch some of his stuff.
I know. It's fun. It's good. It's entertaining.
And there's some people that are like, oh, his is just BS, blah, blah, blah. It's like, if you get down to it, everybody out there, you have to take some with a grain of salt. I mean, nobody's perfect. Nobody. And the information isn't always accurate that's available. You got to go on what you have.
Right.
And when you have more reliable information, you say that. And it's like, okay, here it is. This is the information I have. Take it with a grain of salt, just like, Doomcock does.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm sorry, there is a certain entertainment aspect to it. Otherwise, I don't think people would be watching. I don't do a 30-minute news show because that I literally read the stories. I should read them through because most of these stories are written by computers nowadays, not actually people. I've seen some really, really bad grammar when it comes to the stories. And I'm having to go through reading it live and editing in my head. That's when I do the e-news in the mornings.
Yeah, I'm always I'm always wanting to make sure that I'm reading. Oh my goodness, Cookies left. It was nice to meet you too, love. But no, I'm always trying to get through the stories. I will edit as I read them, or I will just become exasperated. I mean, you'll see it sometimes where I'm reading and I'm like, wow, let me add words, let me add punctuation here. I never thought you would see such poor writing, presented as journalism in my life.
I mean, yesterday I was reading something. It was like they were listing off things. This and this and this and this. Do you not know what a comma is?
No. And you're linking to thoughts requires the proper punctuation, whether it be a comma or a period and a capital. Actually accurately using quotations, comma, quote, capital. There really are some challenges out there. Again, of course, they're only paying these people like $50 for an article, so.
So they must be paying them by the word because some of them they use a lot of ands.
Yeah, and yeah, I don't know. It is what it is. But again, I mean, it's a problem that we've created because instead of focusing on proper reading, writing, and arithmetic, we're focusing on all these immutable boxes in school. But I really don't want to get terribly political. That's really not what your show's about. So.
And yes, the lovely Sherry. Do be sure to subscribe to Gregory. I love his content, by the way.
Yeah, he's awesome. I get to actually be on his podcast interview thing here coming up here soon. So pretty stoked about that. Grant's been
I don't know if he'd ever have me on. I would be willing to come on, but usually he does it at a time. It's like I'd have to, like what you're doing now, set aside a specific time.
Oh yeah, and I think he pre-records some, so he but I like I said, I mean, I love his approach to things. He's very very funny about it. and and he knows how to just edit everything perfectly. It's one of the reasons why I'm very lucky that he's doing it for me. So.
Oh, and good morning, Aravic Sander.
And Mr. Dad Man Walking, I've been getting into the legal and business streams a lot more as well. I mean, but I'm always I can't even begin to tell you how much media I consume, whether it's here at the house or I'm on the road, between locations, or if I'm at the office, I usually have the earbuds in, and I'm just constantly digesting material. So.
Yeah, that's a funny thing. I've been watching some of the legal stuff for a while now. It's mainly for entertainment.
Yeah. I think the best legal streamer is somebody from our own fellowship, which would be Ricada. Nick Ricada is killing it. I mean,
Yeah.
his coverage, his panel of lawyers and everything. I mean, if you got in trouble, man, those are the people you want to hire. You want to go grab everybody on his stream to save your butt.
It's like, this is the person I would go hire, or at least say, hey, tell me where to go.
Yeah. It's true.
Oh, but no, I'm so glad that you have stopped by.
Oh yeah, no, I like you said. I mean, I'm happy to come in here, give you an hour or so of my time, and then I get back to my show prep. But it's it's important. Like I said, I mean, it's one of the ways you expand your audience is to be everywhere. If you can, as time affords, or is afforded to you. We've got lots of great channels. I mean, you've got the dad mans, or the family over there, Ange, and all of them are they're really getting into the gaming space, and they are everywhere. And you've got like I said, just the more people you can go and show love and share and all that, the better, to be honest with you.
I mean, I've had Mexican Iron Man say, "Hey, remember to chat with me in certain chats, and I'll put your link out there." And it's like, I'm not asking you to do that. No, I'm not. No, you do it. I'll take care of it. I'm not asking you. I'm telling you. I want to do this.
And that's important. I mean, it truly is. It really is. But yeah, I've got, man, you guys don't even know how much news is out there today. Holy cow.
Is that a bad thing? I hope not.
No, it's just no. It's just there's just a lot of news. I mean, and there's a story I want to cover, but nobody's going to be interested in. So every once in a while, there are stories like that where I'm like, I'm not going to cover that. But
okay, if you're not going to cover it, what is it?
Oh no, it's just okay. So Dakota Johnson, who you can think what you want to about her acting ability and everything else, but
right.
She's very unique in her appearance, and she's fearless, and I think she's a halfway decent actress. And she's like our modern version of Liv Tyler. It's like every generation has one of these, right? A child of a famous person that becomes an actor, and probably got their first shot because of that reason, that they have a famous family member, but they actually produce something good. Well, she this year produced two independent films, and they're getting their due right now at Sundance and other places. And one of them is Cha Cha Real Smooth. It's one of the films she was involved in, and she actually she acted in it as well. And it's just it's actually getting picked up by Apple. Well, nobody's going to care about that story, just me, and a lot of people don't think a whole lot about it. But anyway, so Dakota Johnson is being pursued by a much younger man. So it's an interesting story, and you have and she sold it, to as far as the streaming rights to it, for a period of time for about $15 million. So that's also part of the story. but it's like nobody outside of me and a few film. What's up, Mexican Air Man? Good to see you, man. But he, it's unless if you're a film critic, you might be interested in this film. But like you said, I just respect the fearless people that are in the industry that will come at it from all sides and they put their own skin in the game, and she did, and that's brave. So
yeah, make sure to do that on Culture Casino's channel today.
oh, absolutely, yeah, I love it when we have so much crossover. It's great when your audience rolls over into my place, and yeah, and then I got Mexican Iron Man in my chat, and occasionally Loki will make his way over there if he's not busy, and I get a lot of cross traffic, which I appreciate. You guys are great, and I feel bad because I want to go back on with Purple Valkyrie because she is just the greatest person to hang out with, and it seems like we stream sometimes at the same time, but she is just delightfully wonderful, and yeah, love her. And we just have so many people like that, and it's so easy to support them. I mean, and that's that's part of our job is to introduce other people to other people.
Well, that's one thing I love, because that's also how I found other people.
Yeah,
is somebody in another chat said, "Oh, check out this person," or somebody was on the panel and it's like, "Oh, check out the person that's on the panel." That's really how we grow the community. And I gotta find a different word. I don't like that word anymore. I really, really, really don't. I don't want to say join the crew because that sounds more exclusive to me, but there's got to be a better word out there.
Yeah.
I know it sounds stupid to focus on that one thing, but it just doesn't.
Well, we have an incredible fellowship, and I'm just gonna
Fellowship is a good word. Yeah.
I'm just gonna stick to that. It's the right word for what we have, because again, you can be part of a fellowship and not always see eye to eye. And you know what? From very wise people, probably one of the wisest things that I can leave everybody with, because I do have to get going, is the fact the fact that hard friends are lifelong friends. The people who are most likely to stand up to you in a friendship way, and those people are the friends that usually stay with you the longest. They're the hardest or the longest, almost always. So just take that with you.
Oh, and definitely do support Drew.
Yeah, Drew's growing like a weed. He's got important folks showing up over there to talk. Lots of interweb personalities, lots of news personalities are showing up there. It's fantastic.
And thank you, Darius, for dropping the link for the 6 Minute Daily. Do hope that people drop by. Go ahead and open another panel. Tell Culture he's late. And his 6 Minute Daily is actually 9 minutes or more. But
hey, well, yeah, that's all of those things are true. All those things are actually true. Although the late part, I've only been late twice, but no,
and those were technical issues. I know
exactly. Yeah, like one day I had like no internet until like 4 minutes after the show was supposed to start. But I always tell people, I'm like, I really appreciate the live audience. I feed off of it. I like the ability to acknowledge everybody there. What's up, Star Wars Theology? I like the ability to acknowledge the chat, just like you do, Captain Trek. And I mean, it really makes a difference. I mean, live streams are your best form of engagement, and you know what? You get great ideas from it. Yep, cross pollination. That's right. Yep, exactly. Yep, you're 100% right. In marketing, cross pollination. Exactly.
I know you got to get going. Thank you very much for coming on.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for inviting me. I told you I'd get here this week. It just you got to give me a few days notice so that I can plan my my day around getting up a little bit earlier, or pre-preparing
earlier,
or pre-preparing the my stories for the night before, which, I did both today. So I could be here. But anyway, I appreciate you very much, Captain Trek. Keep at it. I know it can be frustrating, but yeah, man, just go for it. Just go for it. And right now there's a bunch of stories out there to grab. You've got the Mortal Kombat sequel has been approved, so that's going to move forward. You're going to get another Mortal Kombat film based on the same storytelling that we were getting from the film that released this year, or this last year, I should say. So yeah, I mean that's newsworthy and something to talk about. But anyway, I'm going to dip out. I hope everybody has a super wonderful day, and subscribe to all the amazing people that float through Captain Trek's channel, because believe me, they deserve it. Have a great one, sir.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
And for anybody who isn't connected and listening to Culture Casino, somebody go ahead and drop the link for that again one more time to his channel. It would be most appreciated. Thank you. And yes, we're all standing up for Culture Casino's hair growth. That would be most wonderful. Love to see it nice and long, ready to for him to contribute again. And thank you, Darius. Oh, Culture Casino's on Twitch. I didn't know that. I may have to check. Well, there's no may. I'm going to have to check that out real quick. Go ahead and subscribe to it on there as well. Okay. Oh, Twitter. Okay. I thought it was Twitch. Sorry. Already following on Twitter. Oh, there's Twitch. Okay. It's funny trying to talk and click on things at the same time. Oh, yeah. Great. Yep. Log in. Yeah, looks like I was logged out. Therefore, I'm going to need a new security code, which means I got to check my email. And let's see here. Wait for the security code. There we go, the Twitch verification code. And somebody's backstage, which means I need to check, because I didn't put the link out, so it's Bird. Here we go.
Hello world, it's Birdo5, Kapla.
Kapla. You have the key. You know how to get in here.
I needed a second. I was just shutting off the volume from YouTube. I see Dr. Alex is asking if there's a link.
Oh, for here?
You don't want me to send him one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Please do.
I believe that's what he means. So, Dr. Alex, if Discord is still working or is working again, I will send it there. As for me, I just said, apparently, while the Star Trek Prodigy episode 9 came out, it's not listed on my. I know this happened earlier, but then it showed up, but it is certainly not listed in my Paramount Plus. I checked it 10 times, a bunch of different ways, and it's like it doesn't exist. But I can see from, sites that are for people to use who don't like to pay for things, that it is indeed out. So I don't know why I don't have it. That's very weird.
Or sites for people that networks refuse to give access to, like Yosef.
Right.
Who would have to wait a year.
Possibly longer.
Yeah, I'm saying at least.
We got Dr. Alex.
Good. Now I can check my Twitch verification code. That's why I was late starting. I had to check my verification codes for everything. Because I'd cleaned I was having issues, so I cleaned the.
Honestly, the best thing about Twitch for me is that's where I get the email notification.
Yeah.
That you went live. So I see it in Twitch. I see the email from Twitch. I know to check for you on YouTube. And then after I don't know, 2 or 3 months of not going to your Twitch stream, Twitch will send an email saying, we're sending you emails, but you don't seem to click on them. So we're going to desubscribe you. Not desubscribe, but turn off alerts for this subscription.
Mm-hmm.
I have to go in and manually say, no, I still want. So every once in a while, once a month or so, it's better to click on the link from Twitch so they register as you want to keep getting it. Then go to YouTube. I'm just saying.
Which is definitely a reason that you should subscribe to me on Twitch. Therefore, you'll get the notifications better than YouTube.
Right.
That's pretty bad. YouTube, I hope you're listening. We're having to recommend going off-site so people can get the notification to come onto YouTube.
Alex says, sorry, I meant to StreamYard's link. Yes, that's what I sent. And Discord doesn't seem to be updating. Oh, shit. Okay, because I just got into Discord. What else you got, Doctor? You have the Twitter.
Should have Dr. Alex. Right there. Okay. Paste.
You got him?
I sent him the StreamYard link.
Okay, good.
He's on his phone, so I don't know.
Oh, he can still come on your phone. It's not the best, but it works. So anyway, I guess I missed most of Culture Casino since I was trying to figure out how to watch Prodigy.
Yeah. Well, did you actually watch Prodigy?
I probably shouldn't make an official comment on it. But I will say that this episode takes place immediately at the end of last episode. And the end of this episode is going to be the break. And then the final episode, actually, episode 10 is not the final episode. It's actually a 20 episode season. But there's going to be a substantial break between this episode 10 and the second half of the season.
Really?
Yes. From what I read is that all of the rest, Discovery and Picard and Lower Decks, will probably all take place. And then after they're all done, the second half of Prodigy will air.
Actually, I like that.
Yeah. And that's why I said this was made for Nickelodeon. So Nickelodeon doesn't, 10 episode seasons don't fly
No.
on an actual TV, network. So that's why I guess they had a 20 episode season. That said, it seems like they were probably made in 10 episode chunks.
Right.
So these last 3 episodes, Time Unlock, whatever the hell this most recent one is, and whatever next week's is going to be, they are all these were all back to back to back episodes. I hope that we have some sort of minor resolution, at least for next week, and it leaves it open as to whether there was going to, we know there's going to be a second half of the season, but I hope that they don't leave it on a cliffhanger for, 4 or 5 months, 6 months, who knows?
I hope not. I hope not too long, but yeah, it's understandable.
No, but a 10 episode season and then a 6 months break and another 10 episodes, like 10 episodes every 6 months or whatever. Well, if you start at, say, the beginning of the year, say you start January 1st, and with 10 episodes once a week, that brings you through February, it brings you into March.
Right.
Then you stop for 6 months. Well, not 6 months, you stop until August, and you do another 10 weeks. That's not too bad. It's really not bad at all. Even if you had to do 8 episodes, then stop and then do another 8. That's livable, and it's not a too long of a time between episodes. Like honestly, Suits did that on I think it was TBS or TNT, whatever channel, for the last few seasons before it went off the air, and it was very doable. Like you never felt like you were all that far from another Suits season. They basically did the split season format, and I honestly think that that's what Orville and Star Trek should be using, because I understand they can't make 30 episode seasons anymore, or 26 episode seasons. Fine, but you can do 16, and 16 is 8 and 8 split up. That's a pretty good spot. It's a pretty sweet spot.
Well, I would be all for them, rather than, okay, let's make it 8 to 10. Okay. They could go ahead and film 30 and have part of another season done.
Right.
So they're actually working less. I'm sorry, shows aren't going to last, for the most part, 5 years even. It's rare to see anyone last longer than 5, 6. Some rarely go to 10. Even longer, got like Law and Order that's in 20 years, but that's still the exception, not the rule.
Doc, I'm talking about any series that's on streaming now that they cut back. Now, Discovery, they I think they have 14 or 15 episodes, which isn't too bad, although every episode is awful. I'm just talking about the number of episodes. Discovery somehow has more episodes than Picard or Lower Decks, or the only new Trek series with more episodes per season is Prodigy, and that's because Prodigy was supposed to be airing on Nickelodeon. It wasn't supposed to be streaming at all. But then, for whatever reason, Nickelodeon.
Ah!
Hey, Dr. Alex.
Hello, it's taken me ages to log on. Google's security is so freaking annoying with the double security check it keeps doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really daft. You're going to have to watch me stuffing my face as well, I'm afraid.
Don't worry about it.
Not worried about it.
But yeah, how are you all?
Good,
Not
well,
too
thank
bad.
you.
Good. Right. Carry on. I'm just going to eat.
So, what is the what is for lunch today?
Well, it's a kind of fusion. It's a stir fry, which is largely Japanese because it's teriyaki with veggies and stuff, and beef as well. But I ran out of noodles, so it's basically full of fusilli pasta, which I cooked up. So it's a very fusion dish.
Cool.
I think we call it fusilli, but yeah.
I do. It's not bad, actually.
That was delicious.
Wonder if Cronus is still here to whack
Oh,
and
I didn't want a lot.
Whack
Oh, it's already gone. Darius McMuchhausen. Thank you, Darius.
Yes, thank you, Darius.
And now he was unhidden by Arabic. I guess he
That's what happens
Arabic probably
sometimes.
thought he was first to it.
Yeah, well, that'll happen. And they're hidden because if I tried to hide,
It
it
said
would be
unhide.
unhide.
Yeah. That's weird one. Yeah, okay. There we go.
Oh,
I will talk more once I finish stuffing my face, yeah?
don't worry about it. Doc Valiant says 22 to 26 episodes are food for episodic adventures, which is what I think is necessary for sustainability.
Oh,
I would agree.
Well, I mean, in the old days, they used to look to get to 100 episodes so that they could, sell it for reruns.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you didn't syndicate it.
Syndication, yes.
If you didn't get 100 episodes, most places generally weren't interested in syndicating your show. So that was the big, and that would be basically 4 seasons of old time TV, which is, I guess, why Enterprise got its 4 seasons, because they wanted to, they figured at 4 seasons, it would still get syndication.
Yeah. Although they should have added a couple episodes because they took off as the later seasons went on. Took off episodes.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, it just, and of course, that final episode was just god awful. So,
Yeah, and is that final episode, is that a 2-hour episode or
no,
a single hour?
it's a single hour.
A single hour. Yeah, on a season where almost every episode was a 2 or 3-parter, to end on that single one awful episode. I guess it's better they didn't waste 2 hours telling that god awful story, but
You can almost edit everything out and
It really doesn't feel like the final.
Well, it's not. I mean, it's basically a final Next Generation show that happens mid-season. This was dumb. And Arabic is barely on his first cup of coffee. And for you, Arabic,
My nose.
I gotta go get coffee myself. So
Listen to me very carefully, because I'm only going to say this once. Coffee. Black.
Coffee. Black. While I've got your attention, there are...
Coffee first. Well, this mentor would like another cup of coffee. I'm just gonna have to give up coffee. Want some coffee?
If I'm not mistaken, that's your third cup this morning.
Fourth, and on a day like today, it won't be my last. Coffee. The finest organic suspension ever devised. Commander, set a new course. There's coffee in that nebula.
Well, I'm all yours if you want me to talk about things. I finished stuffing my face.
Well, I just got an email. I have a winter storm watch, 6 to 12 inches of snow, and winds up to 45 miles per hour expected.
This is the New York area, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah. Here it's been freezing the last week, but today it's actually fairly warm. I'm overdressed. And looking out the window, I can see patches of blue sky out there.
Sky.
Ah, yeah. Sky that's blue.
I didn't realize it got blue on your side of the world.
I know it's rare, but we've got some today. Amazing.
Very cool. Yeah, so we're what's today? Thursday. Tomorrow night, all day Saturday, are supposed to be in a nor'easter, they call it. It's a coastal storm that comes up to the northeast. And depending on which way it goes, we can have as little as 0 snow, could be all rain, or in this case, we're in the 6 to 12 right now, but there are other models saying 12 to 18, and other models saying less. So I think they're just averaging it. Let's see. We're almost just whatever we get, it's almost guaranteed not to be 6 to 12. Might be a lot more, might be a lot less.
Anything but that, yeah. What do you feel about the snow? Do you want the snow to arrive? Do you enjoy being snowed in, or is it all just complete pain?
Oh, when I could walk and shovel and drive, I love the snow. But now it's just a pain. It makes life harder. Not so much on me, but on Mama Prey.
all right, now
So I hate the snow.
I'm back.
That's true. These days, we just pay somebody to clear up the snow, but it's still extra work on your mom.
Yeah.
And thank you, Keely, for dropping Loki's link. It's always appreciated.
I guess everyone can see Willow the cat right now, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is the most I think it's ever been on screen. Although it's now covered by
yeah, it's covered by the text.
Thingy. Yeah.
Kinda.
That's covered by his name.
By me, yeah. The
Dr.
cat
Alex.
is here, honest. Right where my name is. And purring away like crazy. Everyone just think I'm making it up now.
I can fix that.
You can get rid of the name.
Ooh.
There.
Yeah, there's the cat under my hand. Lying on a shark. I don't think you see the shark properly. It's very happy to be here. There's a lot of purring coming out. I know it probably isn't picking it up, but very happy cat. Oh, hello. I've gone big again. Who's a little smoochy?
There's the kitty. There's the kitty.
Yeah, kitty.
Do you want your name back, Dr. Alex?
Go on, man. Bring me my name
I
back.
can put it,
We'll cover the cat.
can put it back. Yeah.
Yeah. How are you doing, Captain Shrek? Because I know you were really annoyed by the lack of participation in the streams and things. And I'm really, I sent you a message. I know.
Yeah.
I'm
And
never
part
in
of
the right
that-
place. Go on.
Part of that was due to pain. And rather than admitting to pain, I just get frustrated at other stuff. And yeah, Bird kind of mentioned that yesterday. He heard it.
Hmm.
And yeah,
Has
I
the
have to
pain, has
work
the
on
pain
that.
subsided?
Yes, I've taken my pain medicine today. I'm sometimes bad at taking it. I don't like to, but it's a necessary evil.
Yeah. Oh. Well, I'm glad you're feeling better today.
Of course, having Culture Casino say, "Hey, I'm going to stop by tomorrow." Okay, I'll have that stream set up now. Here's the link.
I'll have to check out Culture Casino. I'm so behind. I'm so badly linked. I mean, there are people. I might actually be already be a subscriber, but I really need to catch up on stuff.
Oh, one thing I like about his thing, because you get a lot of entertainment news over there, but it is literally, you know, the news part of it is 6 minutes long.
Right.
You know, he'll come on, he'll do the pre-show warm up where he's greeting everybody, saying hi, blah 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 blah, reading super chats if he has them, then getting into the news. He'll go for 6 minutes, and then after that 6 minutes is up, that's when he, signs off. And you see the credits run, and he'll talk through the credits sometimes, thanking people, and then after that's over, it's over.
It's very
Very
snappy,
good.
isn't it?
So it's under 10 minute. It's under a 10-minute long stream, 90% of the time.
It's interesting. I'm yeah. As you know, most of my videos at the moment are in the 35 to 55-minute range, and I know this is not the best for the algorithm, is it?
According to everything I've heard, 10 minutes is the ideal, but that I think that rule is changing as we speak.
Yeah, it's certainly 10 minutes is not enough to tell a full story, really.
I mean, you could cut it into two and make
Yeah, you could
two
chunk it.
15-minute segments.
Yeah. But I don't know. I want my thingies to be out there in the way they were envisaged as kind of Doctor Who length episodes. So I'm going to take the hit of no one ever liking it, or very few people watching it because it's the wrong length. I'll take that artistic hit.
Absolutely, I would see. Here's the thing: you do you is what I think is best.
Yes.
I've had people say, "Well, just make a video. We'll watch it anyhow." It's like, yeah, well, I may just do it just to show how bad they really would be.
Yeah.
And then have people say, "Well, you need to do this, and you need to do this, and you need to do this," and it's like, "Good, thank you. Now I know how to improve it."
Yeah. What type of video are you thinking about?
See, that's part of the problem.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Because I'm sorry. Star Trek has been talked to death.
Yeah.
Both the good and the current. Honestly, nobody gives a shit. It's Star Trek.
Bird's still reviewing the new stuff, aren't you, Bird? Oh, I think he may have fallen asleep.
He's either asleep or taking medicine. Or
I'm sorry. What was the question?
I said you're still reviewing the new Trek stuff, aren't you?
Yeah, kinda.
Hang on, I'm
Some
so out of the loop.
episodes I have, some episodes I haven't.
Right, okay.
It depends.
What is the currently running one that's going on right now, or more than
Star
one?
Trek Prodigy.
Which is the kids show cartoon, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
It
And
was
you're
meant to air on Nickelodeon,
Mhm.
but then they decided to stream it first.
And how I try and watch your video. I get your notifications, but it's not that I'm not trying to watch your stuff or anyone else's stuff. Is I'm very busy making stuff right now. I to get here was to find a slot where I'm not doing stuff is hard. But how are your videos doing, Bird?
I'll tell you, the Prodigy, I had one really good Prodigy video. There was one episode of Prodigy where they had, through the holodeck, brought in a bunch of original series characters and TNG and DS9 characters. And that video was my best video in a year. But
the most popular, yeah, and the most views.
yes, views.
Yeah.
But every other Prodigy video has been my lowest video of the year. So I would say in general, there's not too many people looking for Prodigy videos, to the point that my Discovery reviews get far more clicks than Prodigy. In fact, Discovery probably gets the most clicks. Picard, close second. Lower Decks, a far third, and then Prodigy, a far further fourth.
It's funny. I've not really watched since about 6 episodes of the first season of STD. I've not watched it, and I'm definitely not watched Picard. But I do know they were terrible. That's why I stopped watching them. I have watched all of Lower Decks, and I'm not like a raving fan of it, but it didn't piss me off. It's a low bar, I know, but it didn't piss me off. There was the odd bit that made me smile or even chuckle from time to time in an odd episode. So it's funny how the popularity seems to be the inverse with the
yeah, it is, honestly, because I suspect that if you don't have strong feelings of something, you don't hate it, but you don't love it. That's kind of the worst in terms of views. Because I don't care. I just don't care. Then who's going to watch? Whereas if you're Discovery or Picard and you're actively destroying the universe that people came to love, you're going to want to hear about that. Even if you're not saying, I'm not watching this because I like Star Trek, I'm watching this because I hate it now, or because I can't watch it for myself. I want to know what's going on.
Yeah,
I can't bring myself to watch it. Then that makes sense. At least to me.
Yeah, it's funny. Yes, to be terrible is more watchable than to be mediocre, apparently.
Hey, Simple Jack, how are you today?
Hello. I'm sure there was something I was going to say, but it's gone out of my head.
Okay, yeah, that was the one. That was the one review of mine of Prodigy that.
It's called Kobayashi. I think even I saw that one a little bit anyway. Yeah.
Actually, I do believe it's called Kobayashi Maru. I think I just misspelled the title, forgot the Maru. Well, because Discovery first episode of season 4 is just called Kobayashi.
Oh,
And I kept confusing it with the season, because this
It is-
is a season 1 episode.
yeah, I guess it would be confusing. It's incredible how series that so disrespect the original material so desperately grab for member berries in their titles. It's like, yeah, that's the only bit of Star Trek you're interested in? A couple of words you can slap in your title.
Well, certainly in Discovery, there was no reason Discovery should even have been called Kobayashi. And I
Right.
mean, I heard pretty good arguments for, would Discovery's crew even know what the hell Kobayashi Maru was? And if they did, then nobody in the future should really.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. What they is God, I hate to even give them any credit at all. Is STD what 10 years before original Star Trek?
right. Yeah.
So conceivably, Picard is in training or just out of training. Picard, sorry. Kirk
Burnham?
is just out of training, maybe. Yeah.
Oh, Kirk.
Which means
Yeah.
the test would be around, I guess. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. I mean, but
yeah.
did everybody take it yet? I mean,
Yeah.
it's
No.
it would what I believe they for what they call it in Prodigy, and I know Prodigy doesn't change canon, but I mean, what in Prodigy they actually say it's, I believe he's a Voyager Janeway hologram Janeway,
Right.
which is the official name of the character in the credits. It's
Okay.
hologram Janeway.
Mm-hmm.
She says it's a test given to the best captains, which we know isn't true. It's supposed to be a test given to everybody in
Yeah.
and they're not captains yet. They're cadets.
Yes.
Whereas the in Prodigy, she actually says given to best captains. So
Yeah,
it's
that does make more sense.
minor change, but
Yeah, but it is annoying because we've all seen Star Trek 2 because it's the best freaking Star Trek movie ever. Yeah, we know that they were running all the trainees through it. And it may have been the trainees who were training for captains' roles. I mean, you could argue that, but not the best captains. I mean, or they're the ones who took it, they're the ones who passed it. I mean, what the frick are they saying?
Well, I mean, I'm sorry. Ugh, crap. What's her name? Was not, a captain.
Sarek. No, sorry, not Sarek.
See, that's what I was trying to think. That's the thing
Michael.
that came to mind. No,
Damn
not
it.
God. No, not her. I'm talking the female. The shit.
Yes, I know.
Cheers chick.
Yes. Oh.
Savick.
Savick.
Savick. Thank you. It's so close to Savick. That's why it was really messing with their heads. Yeah, Savick. Yeah, she's not a captain yet. She's still a trainee. But
Kirstie Alley.
Yes.
yeah,
Kirstie Alley, whatever her name is.
at most you could argue maybe she was in a fast stream towards captain, and that was part of the training of the progression to eventually get to be a captain. Maybe, but it was certainly a test that's been taken by a lot of trainees by the look of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so one thing I don't know, but some people are claiming, is that the test Wesley takes in TNG,
Mm-hmm.
the psych test,
Right.
that was the Kobayashi Maru for him.
No.
That at that point in TNG, they were doing custom Kobayashi Marus. That would make more sense, but that doesn't make sense that they still call the test a Kobayashi Maru.
Not really though.
So you think at some other point he takes the real Kobayashi Maru?
Wesley.
Assuming he actually graduated Starfleet.
Yeah, became a captain. He does. He comes back, doesn't he? In the later movies, is it the wedding of Troy and Riker, isn't he?
I'm not sure if he's in the movie or if his scenes were all cut, but he
Right.
was in deleted scenes.
Poor Will. Will Wheaton.
And Aravic brings up a good that it was like Troy's officer test, where she had to order Geordi to die. Although that had an actual answer. So I would say that's not a no-win scenario.
Mm.
That's just a shit. We gotta kill one crew member so everyone else lives. That's the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few test. And Lance says he is in the wedding scene. So that's all that made the final cut. Gotcha. Yeah, okay. Thanks, Lance. Because yeah, I always get confused. It never makes sense. It never makes sense why he's back from traveling. Oh, so he went traveling with the companion or the traveler, and now he's back in Starfleet. I thought he was not going to go back to Starfleet. In fact, Starfleet, why would they even let him back after the way he left? They're like, yeah, you got some prison to deal with, kid.
Well, he basically went AWOL. Is that what you're saying? Yeah.
Well, I mean, he left. He caused this giant rift between the Native Americans and Starfleet and Cardassians.
Hang on, we're talking about we're talking about Wesley, yeah?
Yeah, Wesley. The episode he left.
Yeah.
TNG in. That was the Native American colony on the Cardassian planet. It was basically the beginning of the Marquis.
Yeah, I so don't remember the details of that episode.
Okay, so what happens are a group of Native Americans are being forced to move. And Picard doesn't want to do it, but the admiral's like, you have to do it. And the Native Americans say, oh, Picard, your ancestor, great, whatever, from somehow Picard has an ancestor that was in the United States that was part of a group of, I don't know, that pushed Native Americans out of their spot 400 years ago. And now Picard's got to make up.
Yeah, you got the French in Canada, the French who were in Canada before the British kicked them out, or took them over.
But
yeah,
all right,
and
okay.
You could imagine there was a plausible way in which the French colonials in Canada region were pushing some Native Americans out. Oh yeah, it's not the stupidest plot point I've ever heard.
Okay, so even though Picard doesn't believe that the sins can get passed down,
exactly,
even though it's completely against Federation thought, but whatever.
Yeah.
So Picard's trying really hard not to have this happen again. Wesley, in the meantime, is having a conniption for no real reason, and that he's realizing that he joined Starfleet because it's what his mother wanted, and he assumed his father wanted, but it wasn't really what he wanted. Which, you know what, could have made, couldn't have believed that any less, because for the first 3 years of this show, it is very clear there was nothing else Will Wheaton wanted more, or Wesley wanted more, than to join Starfleet.
Yeah, to sit the bridge.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then they make this U-turn in his character. And so he goes down to the planet after overhearing up on the ship he's back on the ship from because he's got a break. They're on break from the academy, so he came back to visit his mom, and of course Geordi puts him to work right away, and he's like, I don't want to do this shit. He realizes it. He overhears on the ship that they're going to have to just beam the colonists out by force because there's no way they can leave them. So Worf beams down to start setting up discreetly pattern enhancers so that they can get everyone in one beam. And so Wesley comes down, he sees Worf working, and Wesley just yells out in the middle of town, hey, do you know what they're doing? They're going to plan to beam you all up in the middle of the night. And so they all start fighting. And then the Cardassians beam down and they start fighting. And so phaser shots are going back and forth. And all of a sudden, Wesley just yells, no, stop, whatever. And then time freezes. And he's like looking at like your phasers just frozen in the air. No one is moving. And Wesley's like, ah. And he's like, oh my God. And then the traveler appears. He's like, did you do this? He's like, no, Wes, you did this. You took the first step. You jumped out of their time. This is no longer your fight. Come with me. We'll explore the galaxy. In a very creepily way. And that was it. That was it. Wesley disappeared. And he went with the traveler. And so that was it. That was Wes. I think he told his mom at some point that he was going to go travel the galaxy with this weird man.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, oh, that weird man told us when you were like 12 that you were going to be very special one day. And he's like, okay, well, this is it. Bye.
Yeah. See, not all of classic / old Trek was brilliant. Yeah. But, we can forgive them, the terrible old ones.
Yeah, I'd forgotten about that.
How could you forget about such an awesome episode?
Awesome. I don't know if I'd go with awesome, but
sometimes the mind erases trauma.
Yeah.
And Lance says Wesley's psych test was not a no-win scenario. That's also true. Neither was Troy's. So, okay, those weren't no.
Troy's was more of a no-win scenario because.
Sorry, I'm being interrupted. I'll have to leave you.
Because she had to choose, knowing one would die, knowing that whoever she sent in would potentially die.
Oh, no, they were definitely going to die, from what I remember.
Yeah. Geordi, can you do it? Yeah, well, yeah, I can do it, but then do it.
Geordi didn't even get a chance to ask for a kiss before he left.
Nope.
I could do it, but I'm going to need he's ordering me to be my death. So I'm going to need a couple of squeezes. He's like, what you talking about? I was like, I don't know. Do you want to live or not? I was just saying, if you're going to send me to my death, you can give me a couple of squeezes before I go. It seems like a fair trade. And she's like, this is very, this is unbecoming a Starfleet officer. It's like, well, write me up after I'm dead. It's your call. Exactly. I need a little motorboat before I do that.
Oh,
It's a good thing you're wearing one of your special uniforms. Just come over here and give me 2 minutes, and I'm like, but you only have 33.5 minutes before we explode. He's like, I can do this in 40 seconds. I only need 2 minutes for you. Maybe it's better we do this in the ready room.
My question is why they didn't have or they couldn't have gotten a hypo for medicine down in engineering
It's not
for the
medicine.
radiation.
There's only so much radiation medicine can deal with. After a certain point, it's beyond the medicine.
Oh, true, but at least it would have gotten him to the thing, guaranteed. I mean, he was going in and protected. Would have thought they would have at least given him enough protection to get there and
They could have
get the
beamed
job
it to
done.
him. Beaming in a hypo spray.
Hello again.
Hello.
Sorry about that. There was a delivery, and they'd made it up to the door to the flat, which is unusual because they normally have to ring a bell downstairs, and I wasn't expecting that.
I need a minute now, Cap. So
no problem.
Please.
So I'll keep you occupied, Captain. So before we got on to distracted, you were thinking what kind of videos you were going to make that were sort of I guess a clickable length, a 10-minute length, or maybe a bit more. I don't know.
Yeah. Sounds like you have the tablet mute there. Let me check first. Okay, there. Try that.
Hey, was I muted?
Huh?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yes. But I can also hear the stream.
The street?
Stream.
Oh, the stream. Okay, well, that might be too loud. Give me a second. Can we bring you down? Yeah, that was loud. Try that.
Okay. Yeah, it's better.
Good.
It's still there, but it's better.
Good. I can just about hear you as well.
So, no, that's the thing. It's like, what do I do the videos on? And don't get me wrong, I'm absolutely certain people are going to judge what I do. So I've been kind of hesitant to do anything for people, well, complaining on how it's not good enough, or that they would have done it this way, or I don't know.
Right, I don't know if that's going to be any better either, but I would say do it anyway and sod what people think, because nothing stops you faster than thinking about what other people are going to say and think.
That's the problem. I'm allowing it to stop me. You're right.
Yeah. It's an easier thing to say to get past than to actually get past. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it. I think the liberating thing, well, back to me because it's always about me. Me shoving the Doctor Who stuff out right back at the beginning when I started reading my old stories. That was where I started. Yeah.
Right.
On YouTube was part of the thing that stopped me being scared about exposing it. Yeah. Was the way that the Doctor Who suddenly becomes so shite that it didn't matter what I did, it couldn't be worse than this, yeah?
Right.
But you can use that same thought as well. Whatever you decide to do, there are going to be a ton of people out there on YouTube right now doing it way worse.
Well, okay, yeah, I'll grant you that. But there are also going to be a ton of people doing it way better. And that's where I'm stuck. So, yeah.
Yeah. To begin with. But, I mean, we all just improve with time, yeah. Practice makes perfect.
I know. I'm stuck in the thought, who would want to watch my videos?
Well, I'm watching your videos. Your streams, anyway. But
Oh, I appreciate that.
Finding a focus is, that is tricky. What do you want to do? And that's the fundamental question. What do you want to do?
That's a good question. I think that's the one thing I've got to focus on is what I want to do, and then just do it, and then just hope for the best.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Vance is quoting the patriarchy.
Say what?
He's quoting Cochrane. Don't try to be a great man. Just be a man and let history make its own judgments.
Yeah.
It's the patriarchy, though.
That's not yeah. Very good.
Oh, yeah, but you're also a patron, Aravic. I have a couple of those. So you're right. I'd have at least 2 people who would watch. I know what I could do. Can you release videos on Patreon directly, Bird?
And you can make it unlisted on YouTube and then post it to Patreon.
Oh, that's true. I could make videos for my patrons only, and then as a test run.
That's a good idea. Yeah, they're your test audience. Yeah,
and that way the 2 to 3 people that are patrons can actually see it, and they can give me their feedback. That's a good idea. Thank you. I hadn't thought of that.
I think you just did that.
Well, I just thought of it, but
yeah. I get you. Yeah, it's good.
Until Eric said he would watch, and I realized he's a member on Patreon, and it's like, wait a minute, I got people that are members on Patreon. I could just do that. That would work, actually.
Indeed.
And then if they liked the videos, they could share it out, and other people could see it. So that works. Yeah, that works.
And you, of course, could then put it on once you know people are enjoying it, you put it on general release on YouTube,
right,
onto public. Yeah.
That's actually got me started thinking about stuff.
Good, because again, even if you don't know what it is you want to do exactly in terms of the content yet, now you're already thinking about ways of testing the content. The ideas will probably come to you anyway.
Three good things, 3 things that need improvement. That's an option. Well, now that I have a plan, that's something to shoot for. So, yeah. And you actually helped me think of it. Thank you, Aravic. Asking open-ended questions might be just wasting time as well. I'm gonna have to give this some thought. Yeah, go ahead and if you're listening to this on the replay, go ahead and give me any suggestions you all might have as well, because it'd be nice to have input as well from people watching. This will also tell how many people actually watched this point. So, what got you into YouTube exactly, Dr. Alex?
So I was just trying to think of things that, why did I start doing it? Because I started doing those sword fighting review films, of sword fighting from a fencing perspective, because I don't know, I can't, well, watching Anti-Trekker, as he was then, got me thinking about making videos, and the first video I made was just a little joke at Anti-Trekker's expense, but then I started thinking about the films I enjoyed as sword fighting films, and the fact that some of that enjoyment now in particular came from the fact that I was a fencer, so I watched them with a fencing perspective and looked at the fight in a sort of technical way as well as enjoying it as a story. So that just kind of spiraled. That just kind of grew out of seeing that there's nobody really reviewing it in films in that way. Yeah.
Right.
So why did that come from? Well, it's just that I just saw a gap which I felt needed filling. Whether that was true or not, I'm not so sure, but I did anyway. I filled that gap for a bit, and then I was stuck again. I didn't have any ideas for a bit at that point. I'd done that, but then I began to. Well, no, it was then that the Doctor Who crap sort of really inspired me, because once we knew there was nothing good on TV, Doctor Who, I started looking around at the stuff I did. Well, actually, the stuff I did wasn't bad, particularly compared with the stuff that we've already got out there. And then I just grew out of that. I can tell in the near future I will run out of stuff to do again, because, well, I will write one more season of the Doctor, season 14, with the help, hopefully, of you and others, because that's my intention, to do it more like a showrunner for this last one.
Right.
After that, though, I intend to not do any more Doctor Who. I use that in quotes because it's obviously not really Doctor Who. That's owned by the BBC. But then I'm going to be stuck again. I have some ideas, though. So once you start having ideas, I did make a little list on a notebook I've got of ideas for other series I could do. So once they start coming, the ideas often continue to arrive. Yeah. And I'd make a note of them. As you get them, find something. I use Evernote for taking notes, but I make notes of these ideas while you get them, so you don't forget.
Yeah, that's what I would tend to do. It'd be like, oh, I have a great idea. Oh, crap, what was that?
Yeah, it's very important to make notes of those as you get them.
Do you do that, Bird, or do you just rely on your memory?
Memory?
Okay.
What? Forgot. What was the question?
I said, what do you do if you have a good idea? Do you write it down, or do you just rely on your memory?
Oh, I had this book where I wrote down all my good ideas. I lost it.
Can't remember where you put it. No?
Well, we know you've lost it. That's another story.
It's called Good Ideas book.
Slightly more seriously, that's why I use Evernote, which is an online note-taking thing, yeah? Because you can't really lose that. It's always there on the cloud, yeah?
Yeah, then it gets hacked and people steal my good idea.
Right. Do we need to send you tinfoil hats through snail mail?
I had the idea for a Star Trek cruise ship, and then they started coming out with Star Trek cruises, like 10 years later. So they have.
Yes, but see, I would have the crew in Starfleet uniforms.
Yes, that was the idea. The crew
Yeah.
would wear Starfleet uniforms instead of, red, blue, and yellow for the various things. It would be like, red might be security. Okay. So red would still be security,
Mm-hmm.
but blue would be like food in the restaurant, and yellow would be, I don't know, pool and fun. I don't know, fun and games, something like that. And we'd have other colors too.
That include, orange. I would go with the standard, with the red, blue, yellow. But
Yeah,
also have other colors in there. So if you see red on there, you are actually talking to an officer, or yellow or blue. You are actually talking to an officer. It's not just crew member whatever. Um, and you have the let's say orange uniforms for entertainment. That would go for anywhere on the ship. You wear an orange uniform there for entertainment, or a purple uniform for something. I don't know. Well, you have a good day at work, Aravic. Hopefully your day goes well. Well, go ahead and check out Culture Casino later. I think I'm going to go ahead and call this a stream. I do want to thank everybody for joining me. And do you want to give a special shout out and thank you to Culture Casino. Thank you for joining me this morning. Thank you, Bird, and thank you, Dr. Alex, for being on today. Everyone, thank you for being in the chat, and have a great day. I can hear your cat.
Thank you for having us.
There we go. Come on. It doesn't want to end. You bloody piece of crap.
You want me to try to end it?
Yeah.